Hi, and welcome to Cenario, your partner in mental wellness. Here on our channel, we share educational, insightful, and science-backed content to help you understand your mental health and take meaningful steps toward a more balanced life. If you're ready to learn, grow, and take control of your wellness journey, let's jump right in.
Okay, let's talk about our relationships. Have you ever wondered if there's a better way to connect with the people you love the most? Well, today, we're diving into something called emotionally focused therapy, or EFT for short. It's a really powerful way to understand and heal our most important emotional bonds. You know that feeling, right? It's like a frustrating déjà vu. You're having the same argument, you both know your lines, and you know exactly how it's going to end, with you both feeling disconnected and alone. But what if I told you that script isn't really about you or your partner?
So let's peel back the first layer here. What is really going on underneath the surface of all these fights?
Yeah, we all know these battlegrounds, don't we? Who takes out the trash, how we spend our money, who's not paying attention. In the moment, these things feel so incredibly important. But honestly, they're usually just the tip of a much, much bigger iceberg. And there it is. That's the heart of it. That huge fight about the dirty dishes, it's almost never about the dishes. It's about a raw, vulnerable question that we're often way too scared to ask out loud. Do I matter to you? Can I count on you? Do you even see me right now? And this brings us to one of the most powerful ideas in EFT. What if the problem isn't your partner? And what if you're not the problem either? What if the real enemy is this invisible pattern that you're both caught in? EFT gives this pattern a name, the negative cycle. I want you to think of it like a vicious loop. Your reaction triggers your partner, and then, boom, their reaction triggers you right back. Pretty soon, you're not even two people talking anymore, you're just two people caught in this painful reactive dance. So here's the most common version of that dance. On one side, you've got the pursuer. They're desperately trying to connect, but they do it by pushing, often with criticism. Of course, that makes the withdrawer feel totally overwhelmed and attacked, so they pull away to feel safe. But that just makes the pursuer feel even more abandoned, so what do? They push harder. It's a perfect, painful feedback loop. And this is the trap, you see. Each person is just trying to deal with their own distress, but the strategies they're using are actually creating the very thing they both hate, disconnection. It's like a perfectly designed self-fueling cycle of pain. So, how do you actually break out of a cycle like that? Well, this is where emotionally focused therapy comes in. It offers a really clear path forward. So, what is EFT exactly? Well, it's not just about learning how to fight better or use the right I statements. It's about healing the emotional bond itself. It goes way deeper, focusing on our underlying emotions and our most basic, fundamental human need for a secure connection. EFT was developed back in the 1980s by the brilliant Dr. Sue Johnson, and it's built on a rock-solid foundation called attachment theory. Now, this theory tells us something really profound. As human beings, we are biologically hardwired for connection. We need it, like we need food and water. So when that bond feels threatened, our brain sounds a massive alarm. It goes into a state of, primal panic.
And get this is a truly staggering piece of science. Research from brain scans shows that feeling rejected or emotionally cut off actually lights up the exact same parts of your brain as physical pain. That's why these fights hurt so much. To your brain, the danger of disconnection feels just as real as a physical threat.
So you can see how this is different from other therapies that might just give you communication scripts. EFT goes so much deeper. It doesn't just ask, what are you fighting about? It helps you understand, why does this hurt so much? And then works to create a real foundation of emotional safety.
Now, one of the best things about EFT is that it's not some big mystery. There's a clear, structured roadmap to guide you from that place of disconnection back to a secure bond. Let's walk through the 3 stages of this healing journey.
It really just breaks down into 3 manageable stages. First, you calm the storm. Second, you start to rebuild that connection. And third, you make absolutely sure it lasts.
Okay, so in stage 1, the big game-changing shift happens. You stop seeing your partner as the problem. Instead, you actually team up to identify and fight against your real common enemy, that painful, repeating negative cycle.
Stage 2. This is really the heart of the work. This is where you learn how to share the softer, more vulnerable emotions that are hiding underneath all the anger or the silence. The fear of rejection, the deep longing to feel close. It's all about creating new, healing conversations that bring you together. And finally, in stage 3, you take these new ways of connecting and you make them a habit. You practice them until this new, secure way of relating becomes your new normal, something that's strong enough to handle any storms that come your way in the future. So what does life actually look like after going through this journey? Well, the impact of rebuilding that secure bond is incredibly profound, and it is really long-lasting. And it's really important to know that while EFT is famous for its work with couples, its power goes way beyond that. It helps individuals who are struggling with their own emotional patterns, and even entire families who are looking to heal their relationships and reconnect. The research behind EFT is seriously compelling. I mean, study after study shows that about 75% of couples who complete EFT successfully move from being in distress to a state of recovery. And the best part? Those results last long after the therapy is ended. And the benefits also spill over into your own personal life. You see, when you feel emotionally safe and secure in your most important relationship, it literally calms your entire nervous system down. People report feeling less anxiety, having better control over their emotions, and just an overall stronger sense of self. I think this is such a powerful and hopeful way to look at our struggles. Disconnection doesn't mean your relationship is a failure, not at all. Think of it more like an alarm bell. It's a clear signal that your emotional bond just needs a little bit of care and attention. So I'll leave you with this final thought. What would change if, in your next moment of conflict, you could see that pattern as the real enemy? What if you could turn to your partner and, instead of fighting them, decide to fight that cycle together?
Thank you for watching Cenario. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. For personalized mental wellness supplements, visit Cenario.com. See you in the next one.